What's up, YouTube family? I'm back at you like I'm mad at you. And I wanted to share one quick video with you, family. This video, something came to me. I wanted to share with you concerning one of the reasons why I really decided to kind of like, uh, well, it was kind of like something that happened to me as far as me changing in the direction that I've been going in, family, the last so many years. Coming from the streets of Chicago and deciding to do something different with my mind specifically. Um, but one of the main reasons that I was able to see the need for change and see what was happening in my world, right, in the world around me, was what we call expression, family, right? And that's what I want to share with you real quick. I want to share with you some things about expression. So I was able, when I was younger, I was really into expression, right? Especially melanated people have strong strengths. We have a lot of strength in expression, right? So that explains the music, right? The fashion, comedy, anything you could think of, family. Anything you could think of is concerning expression, right? Um, we were, I noticed, very big on expression. And when I was younger, I was real big into that, right? Sometimes we call it swagger, right? The pizzazz, that flair, you know what I mean? That we all was huge on at one point in time in our lives, or we all was attracted to it at one point in time in our lives, right? So there are many forms of expression, but I just remember being, um, after I think I was like 18, 19, family, this is when I had a chance. I had to sit down for a minute. I told y'all about that. Uh, you know, when my life started going a different direction, um, as far as me learning to like reading, because I didn't used to like reading and all that. But I started to learn to like reading and, things like that. That's the first time I started ever like working out and all that. I wasn't ever really big on none of those things for real. But I had a chance to sit still, is my point, and I was kind of some kind of way. I was reminded, or I was able to notice that people sell poison by way of great expression. Some people know how to express themselves in a way where they will sell you toxicity, poison, bull crap, right? Because it's packaged so well. You see what I'm saying? Because it's packaged so well. So when you think of expression, think of like packaging, right? Think of like wrapping, like gift wrapping. Think of like when they say looks are deceiving, right? I realized that just like a thumbnail, right? People get you all the time by clicking a thumbnail. By creating a nice looking, nice appealing thumbnail. But then when you go into the material or the content, it wasn't nothing like, what you expected from the thumbnail, right? You can look at this even in relationships, right? People are very good at expression, but on the inside of the packaging, the content has little to no substance. So I just realized, family, at a point in my life, I'm like, man, our people, right? I was talking about my peers, right? Many of, not everyone that is great at expression lacks substance, though, right? There are many who have great expression as well as substance. But I just realized how a lot of nonsense was being sold and bought by way of great expression. And so, you know, I wanted to share that with you because expression is very significant, family. It is very significant, and a weapon that can be used against you or a weapon that can be used for you. It's one of the main tools that have been used in the communities to pass down and pass around nonsense because of the expression. Expression sells, right? How many thumbnails, right, on YouTube or many of these different social media platforms have you clicked on, right? Because of the thumbnail was wrapped and packaged in a way where you thought maybe there's something to this right here. This looked interesting, right? This sounds interesting. Well, my point is, expression is a very powerful weapon. And some people are naturally gifted when it comes to expression. And so over those years, I was just able to see like, man, you know, at one point we were many were more interested in expression than the actual substance, right? Of what they were leading to, right? Of what they were offering, right? What they were really, you know, what they really had to offer. They had more expression than they had substance. And I was just like, man, I not only myself had been guilty of that to some extent, but I realized that that was something that I had to be truly mindful of if I wanted to really grow and develop, family. And I realized that I was listening to a American Gangster album, right? It was Jay-Z album. Of course, I was big on rap music as well. And I just remember hearing on the album, the guy, Frank Lucas, I think that was his name, he said, swagger is a liability. And I remember thinking on that, right? And I remember saying, man, that sounds familiar because this thought process of expression had already came to me during that time. I was about 20 years old, right? Give or take. And when he said swagger is a liability, I was like, man, that make a lot of sense. It was almost like confirmation to what I was getting about expression. And I thought on that statement. I thought on that for a short while. And it just was more and more clear to me that, yeah, that is something that can be an extreme liability. You know what I'm saying? And it can be something that you find yourself buying into, right? People know how to say something to you. That's one thing about, you know, a lot of our people, family. They know how to say things in a way where they'll sell you some dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as a thought process or a perspective, just because they said it so slick. You see what I'm saying? Or just because they said it in such a way that they have great expression enough to sell it. You see what I'm saying? And it might not work for everybody, right? Again, not everybody that has that gift of expression lacks substance, but many do. And you just keep that in mind, family. I wanted to share that with you, family. Expression is very significant, right? In that it can work for you or against you. So, you know, hopefully that helped you with your sales, right? With your business, with whatever you're doing in life, you know. But also be mindful of it the other way around, right? When you're being sold nonsense and it being something appealing to you by way of expression, but lacking substance. Just keep that in mind. I thought that was very significant because it's something that I feel like our people have been using for decades, right? To pass on stupidity and mediocrity, family. You know, as we know, sometimes our people fail to rise above the mediocrity of mankind. And one of the ways we talk each other we talk each other into staying in that mediocrity is by way of expression. You know what I mean? You got people that know how to say things a certain way to where they'll make you think staying in the ghetto is cool, right? They know how to say things a certain way where they make you think staying in a povertized environment is where it's at, right? Make you think by, just drugging yourself up is the way to go, right? Just make you think spending all your money on nonsense, right, is the way to go. The list goes on, family. You get it. I know you get it at this point, so I ain't gonna hold you. Expression, family, very significant. In this point, moving forward, be mindful of it. It can work against you. It can work for you. To the next video. Peace, positivity, optimism, power, and abundance. Water.